kids, good morning to you all. Today again we are going to continue the lesson, The Parrot Who Wouldn't Talk. This lesson, I told you, is based on a pet bird, parrot or a parakeet. Last class I told you that Ruby auntie, she wanted to have a parrot as a pet. So she is going and getting it from the bird catcher who sells caged birds. Auntie is bringing that to the house, and grandfather and grandmother, granny, they are not interested to have a parrot in their house because caged birds should not be kept in the house. It should be left free. So they were not interested to have parrot in their house. But Ruby auntie, she wanted a pet. Now when Ruby auntie was teaching the bird to talk, the bird disliked Ruby auntie, and one day it just knocked off her spectacles, and Ruby auntie also started disliking the bird. At last the boy gave the parrot food. That is, what did he give? Do you remember? No. He gave green chilies, ripe tomatoes and some mango pieces during mango season. Up to that we learned. And what the auntie taught the parrot did not learn. So what is happening, we'll see in the next paragraph. All of you take a textbook. Take a pencil also, children. Children, I want to ask you one thing. Did you all read the lesson up to what I taught you in the last video? Very good. Keep it up. Do the same thing after this video also. Okay. Now can we start the lesson, children? Yeah. Page number 56. Now paragraph number 4. Shall I continue? Be attentive, children. One afternoon, while everyone was enjoying a short nap, I gave the parrot its lunch and then purposely left the cage door open. Seconds later, the bird was flying freely into the mango orchard. What happened? One afternoon, this boy, what did he do? Everyone were having a short nap. Short nap means they were just sleeping for a little time. To sleep, just after having lunch, we used to have a nap. Sometimes your parents or grandparents, they used to have a small nap after having their lunch. That is a short while of sleep. That is called a nap. I gave the parrot its lunch and then purposely left the cage open. What did he do? He gave the parrot some food and other things, and purposely, deliberately, knowingly, what he did? He kept the door of the cage opened. Seconds later, the bird was flying freely into the mango orchard. Within seconds, the bird saw that the cage door was open and he just flew away inside the mango orchard. That is where there are lot of mango trees. It went there. Grandfather came on to the veranda and remarked, I see your aunt's parrot has escaped. Grandfather is coming out, and after a small nap he is coming out, and he is telling to that boy, I see your aunt's parrot has escaped. He thought that the parrot has escaped by itself. He didn't know that the boy kept the door open. But he thought he was telling to the boy that your auntie's parrot has escaped from the cage. The door was quite loose, I said with a shrug. I told you shrug means like this. So boy was saying, I think the door was little bit loose so that it can push and go out by itself. He was saying like that. Well, I don't think we'll see it again. The boy is saying, now the bird is gone out of the cage. I don't think it will come back. We won't see the bird again, he said. Aunt Ruby was upset at first. When she came out, she saw that the cage was open and the bird was not there. She was a little bit upset. She was worried also. We promised to buy her a bowl of goldfish. So, what did they say? Okay, don't worry. If the parrot has gone out, no problem. We'll buy some goldfish for you as a pet. For you as a pet. Aunt Ruby was upset at first. We promised to buy her a bowl of goldfish. The parrot probably missed its green chilies. Now they're saying maybe the bird would have missed her green chilies. You know what is green chili? Pachamulagu. Yeah. A few days later, I found it sitting on the veranda railing, looking expectantly at me with its head cocked to one side. I gave the parrot half of my mango. What happened? Suddenly, one day he saw that the bird was sitting on the veranda rails. You can see in the figure, in the page number 57, you can see grandfather and that boy is standing there, and that is the rail, that brown color figure is there, that is the rail in the veranda. And the bird was sitting on that. The parrot probably missed its green chilies, seeing that they are saying, oh, it has come to take its food back again. A few days later, I found sitting on the veranda railings, looking expectantly at me with its head cocked to one side. I gave the parrot half of my mango. And when the boy was eating mango, when he saw that parrot sitting on the rail, he gave half of the mango to the parrot to eat. It was expecting, he thinks that the bird was expecting something from his to get to eat. While the bird was enjoying the mango, Aunt Ruby called out, "Look, that's my parrot." Aunt Ruby, she is saying, my parrot has come back. Look, it is sitting there. When the parrot was eating mango, Aunt Ruby could see the parrot there and she was saying, look, that's my parrot. It must have missed me. Aunt Ruby is saying, oh, the parrot would have missed me. That is why it has come back to see me again. She was saying, it must have missed me. With a loud squawk, the parrot flew out of her reach, perched on the nearest rose bush, glared at Aunt Ruby and screamed in my aunt's familiar tones. What happened? When Aunt Ruby came there near the railings, the parrot, as you know, it disliked the auntie. So what did it do? It just made a sound which nobody heard earlier, and it made a sound that in such a way that he didn't like Ruby auntie to be seen there, and it just flew back to the rose bush. That is, there was rose garden there. Over that it was sitting, and glad that Aunt Ruby and screamed. Glad means it saw with anger like this, and it glared at Aunt Ruby and screamed in my aunt's familiar tones. How the Ruby auntie used to scream. She used to shout at the bird. The same way the bird repeated that you're no beauty, can't talk, can't sing, can't dance. As Ruby auntie used to scold the parrot also in the same tone of Ruby auntie's tone. I told you tone means the same voice, sound, vacha. As Ruby auntie, she used to say the parrot, you don't talk, you are not beauty, you don't sing, you don't dance. The same way the bird repeated in front of the aunt. You are no beauty, can't talk, can't sing, can't dance. Aunt Ruby went ruby red and dashed indoors. What did she do? She was really surprised. Her face became very red. I told you ruby means it's a stone, red in color. So face turned red in color and dashed indoors. She went indoors. She got angry. The bird was telling the same words, the same tone as she was saying to the bird. And she went inside. Indoors means she went inside. Dashed indoors. She went inside. But that wasn't the end of it. The parrot became a regular visitor. Whenever it saw Aunt Ruby, it would call out, "You're no beauty, can't talk, can't sing, and can't dance." The poor parrot had learned to talk after all. Now what? The parrot, not only that day it scolded the auntie. Every time it started coming regularly to their house, sitting on the rails of the veranda, and whenever it sees Ruby auntie, it used to say, you have no beauty, you don't talk, you don't sing, you don't dance. Whatever Ruby auntie used to scold, the parrot used to repeat the same words in the same tone of auntie. So at last what happened? They came to know that the parrot had learned to talk. So they came to know that the parrot is able to talk. It has learned from them. Even the scolding, it could do it by the same way as Ruby auntie did. Now once again, I'll read from that paragraph and please practice, children. Now listen to the words, how I pronounce, and read the text. See the text now. I'll once again read the lesson for you. Not the full lesson, from where I stopped in the last video. One afternoon, while everyone was enjoying a short nap, I gave the parrot its lunch and then purposely left the cage door open. Seconds later, the bird was flying freely into the mango orchard. Grandfather came on to the veranda and remarked means said, "I see your aunt's parrot has escaped." The door was quite loose, I said with a shrug. "Well, I don't think we'll see it again." Aunt Ruby was upset at first. We promised to buy her a bowl of goldfish. The parrot probably missed its green chilies. A few days later, I found it sitting on the veranda railings, looking expectantly at me with its head cocked to one side. I gave the parrot half of my mango. While the bird was enjoying the mango, Aunt Ruby called out, "Look, that's my parrot. It must have missed me." With a loud quack, the parrot flew out of her reach, perched on the nearest rose bush, glared at Aunt Ruby, and screamed in my aunt's familiar tones, "You're no beauty, can't talk, can't sing, can't dance." Aunt Ruby went ruby red and dashed indoors. But that wasn't the end of it. The parrot became a regular visitor, means it started coming regularly, daily it started coming. Whenever it saw Aunt Ruby, it called out, "You're no beauty, can't talk, can't sing, and can't dance." The parrot had learned to talk after all. Children, hope you like the story and read the lesson again from where I stopped again 3 times so that you'll get used to the words. Now I'll send the question answers and the meanings and audio clip. If anybody has got any doubt, please you can contact me and ask me if you have any doubt. Okay, thank you. Have a great day, children.